Hello friends, welcome to my channel Testing Matters. For those who are new to this channel, my name is Pritpal and I have over 16 years of experience in software testing, and I make videos on different aspects of software testing, and I also guide candidates on cracking the software testing interviews. So today we will cover a topic in which we are going to capture the broken links on the web page. So any web page has n number of links on it. So just a second, I am going to show the website on which I will going to perform the operations. So this is the website of EPFO India. It is a government website, and we will check that all these anchor tags, all the links on this web page, we are going to check. And if there are any broken links, like if we are getting 404 on any of these links on this page, and 404 or any other error, any other response code other than 200, which is the successful response code, then we will display that URL and what is the response code and what is the error message that we are going to do on this web page. So let me create a new class to write the code for this task. Let me call it broken links demo. So to save time, let's quickly copy this part of WebDriver declaration and setup. So I will copy this URL and replace it in the driver.get statement. So we are going to use a different method called tag name. So firstly, what we need is we need to get all the anchor tags on this web page. So what this will return? This is going to return basically this will going to return web elements of type. Actually, the thing is that I should use find elements because there will be more than one anchor tags, and by tag name this is going to return me a list of web elements whose tag name is A. So I need to create a list to store them. List of web element. Let me call them anchors. So it will return a list of web elements. I need to import the list from java.util package, and we will also have to import the web element. So now all the anchor tags will be stored in this list. Now what next? We have all the elements, and we need from these anchor tags we can get its URL through href, and once we get the URL we need to test that URL. So what we can do is we can get the URL by passing through all the anchor tags. For that, we will need a for loop like enhanced for loop, and it will also we mention as web element here, web element A and anchor here. So basically enhanced for loop is created, and for each element we will get its get attribute. So in the anchor tag there is an attribute called href, right? So href we will get from each of the anchor, and this href is nothing but the URL. So let us create a string called URL and pass this href into it. So this URL, or we can call it link as well. Okay. So we need to check whether this link is opening successfully or not. For that, we will create another function and we will pass this link to that function. Let's create that function, verify links. Verify links. Okay. So this function will receive string string URL. Okay. And we also need to define the return types. So this will be public static void. We have defined the return type. Why it is giving error here? For loop is there. That we will take care later. If I remove this, till there is one error. Okay. This URL, if we select it, the corresponding opening bracket will be selected. Okay, this is for our main function and this is for class. Then why it is giving error? Okay, here void is an invalid type of variable. Verify links. Public static void. So it is saying it as a variable. It is a function. Okay, I got it. So basically, this should not be inside the main. We have to close the main here, and this function is separate from main. Now, you see the error has been corrected. So for better readability, we can mention the comment as end of main here, and here we can mention it end of class. So this will be our function, and it will receive this link as a URL, and we will also be needing one variable, which will be the global variable, and it will keep the count of number of broken links. Let's call it broken count. Okay, and let's declare it as static because it will be a global variable. Inside this function, firstly, we need to call this function here itself. In this for loop, verify link, and we will mention the link in the argument. This way, we are going to call this function, and here we will define this function now. So in order to operate on the URL, we need a object of URL class. Let's call it u, or let me call it link only. And here we will call it as URL. Small URL is equal to new URL, and this will take the link as the argument if I am correct. So we need to import the URL class from java.net. Let's see. Okay, it basically we need a try catch because there is an exception it throws which is called malformed URL exception. So let's use try catch this time. So everything will be surrounded inside the try block, and there will be a catch block at the end. So we are inside the try block, and this URL we mention the link, and now what we will do, we will use this URL reference to open the connection with this URL open connection. Okay, now what this returns? It basically returns a URL connection instance that represents a connection to the remote object reference to refer to by the URL itself. So we need a URL connection to which we will assign the connection of with that we are opening. So for that we need HTTP URL connection. Let's call it con is equal to, we need to typecast the value it is returning so that we are able to store it in the HTTP URL connection this way. So we need to do the necessary import for this as well. It is okay, I misspelled it. It is HTTP URL connection basically this way. Okay, and here add through declaration add. Okay, it throws IO exception as well. So I am surrounding it in the try catch block again. So no need to open a separate try block for it. I am removing it because we are already in the try block. So just that there will be a separate catch block because it is a different type of exception. Okay, let's remove this. Let me align this with the catch that is below there. Unreachable catch block for malformed exception. Okay, I think the try block starting from here. Okay, so catch block came inside the outer try block. So we need to keep it below the try block. That's why the commenting is very important. So this catch block needs to be closed here. This catch block is closed, and this catch block is also closed here. Why it is throwing an error here? Unreachable catch block for malformed exception. It is already handled by the catch block IU exception. Okay. So when it comes to sequence of the catch block, we need to take care that the exception which is at a broader level should come at the bottom. Otherwise, this was taking care of the malformed exception as well, because this is the parent and this is the kind of a sub exception to this. So that's why it was, when it was below the IU exception, the malformed exception was getting ignored. So that's why I have changed the sequence of them. So we have opened the connection and we have typecasted it, and now it is inside the this reference. HTTP URL connection. It supports HTTP protocol as well. So now using con, we will first set the timeout. Set connect timeout as maybe, let's say, 7000 millisecond. Okay. It takes set a specified timeout value in milliseconds. So I have set 7 seconds. If the URL does not give any response for 7 seconds, it will be considered as connection timeout. So now after setting it, we need to connect. So now we have connected. After getting connected to the URL, we will get its response. So con dot get 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 I think it is get response code. Yes, it is get response code, and let's compare. If the response code is not equal to 200, then that's what we are doing now. If the response code is not equal to 200, then we have to display the URL to the user. Then we will display that URL to the user. Let's use sysout and mention the URL here. Failing URL is con dot get, I think, yeah, get URL. So we will get the URL. We also need to get the response code. Field response code is connection dot get response code. And similarly, we will get the response message as well. Field response message is con dot get response message. So this is what we are going to display it to the user. So every time our URL will not give 200 successful response code, We will perform this operation, and at the same time we will increase the count of this variable which we created, broken count, so that we are keeping a track of how many URLs are failing or not giving 200 response code. This will be incremented and we will display the broken count at the end. Once everything is executed, here we can do it. Total fail URL count is, here we can mention it at the end after the loop. So before calling this function, we need to take care of one other thing as well. So we need to make sure that the link is not equal to null, and link link is a string starts with, so some of the URLs start with a particular Java word kind of, this kind of Java word 0. Such URLs are wrong, so we need not check those URL. So that's why we are mentioning it here. Under the string we will mention it. If the URL starts with this, if the link is equal to null, okay, link is not equal to null, link not starts with this, and if link dot contains, if this link contains mail to, because we need not check the links to mail, so we need to specify this, and not, if any of this condition. So we are basically, what we are saying is we are going to call the verify link function. Just a second. Yeah, so basically we are saying that we are going to check the URL using our function that we created, verify links, only if the link is not equal to null, if the link not start with this, if the link, and if the link not contains mail to. This is because if the link contains mail to, it is basically the mail ID basically. href anchor tag is also there for mail to kind of elements. So we are not going to check this. If the URL starts with this, we are not going to check this. And if the URL is null, we are not going to waste time by passing it and calling our function on that. So this condition we have added. And coming back to our function, these are the the URL, the response code, and the response method we are going to display to the user by a sysout statement when the link is other than 200. And we can do something like this when the exception is caught. Even in that case, we can do something on those lines. We can display the response code, and we can display the URL, the response code, and the message. Okay, let me see what can be done here. We are inside the malform. Let me correct the alignment first. Okay. To get the URL, damn. So to get the URL, we will use this. We are going to use this reference of E for exception. We can get E dot status. Okay, we need URL now. E dot, or maybe we can get the URL directly. We can get it directly through the link as well, because we will not be able to use con here. So get message we can get from here. Okay, I think we can directly try to get it through the link. Yeah, we are able to get it through the link itself. And as far as the code is concerned, we can get it from E dot. Okay, I don't think we just need the message, because we will anyway going to get the stack trace. We need not get the response code separately. So these are the things I am going to copy in case of IO exception as well. Paste it here. Replace it with IO exception, and it will display the link and the message and the stack trace. Okay, for better readability, I will mention here IO exception stack trace is. I will simply remove this and it will be displayed using this line. I will copy this, I will paste it here. Malformed exception stack traces, and it will be displayed here. I think we are done now. Let's remove the unwanted new line characters here. So this is our function verify links, and this is our main function. We will first get all the anchors. We will run through the anchors. We will get the href. We will apply this condition. We will call our verify link function with each of the href, and inside here we are going to build the connection, and we will check the response. If it is not equal to 200, then we are going to display it, and at the end of this we will show the count of total failed URL. Let's run it, and the URL which we are using is for EPFO website. I hope the website is opening because sometimes the site is down. Okay, the website is opening at least. Let's see how many URLs are breaking on this web page. It will start displaying in the console here. Okay, so we are getting some. So this is the certificate error. We can ignore this. This is not what we are trying to display. If we are getting any certificate error, that can be ignored. We are just looking for any of the non 200 response code like this. So here for this URL, failing URL this, and the response code is 302, which means move temporarily. So this is what we were looking for. Again, this is a certificate error. We can ignore this. So we got IU exception, response messages, connect timeout, and the stack trace is this. So we basically the data which we are displaying, trying to display through the IU exception. IU exception URL is this. This was the URL, some PDF file, and the response timeout came for that. Again, IU exception for this another PDF. So let me compare. This was some Nivas Office PDF, and in this case, this is PMA PDF. On both, we are getting connect timeout and IO exception. Okay, so failed URL is this, response code is 404. So, and the response message is not found. So for this URL, we got 404. Another URL we got 301, permanently moved. For this URL, okay, this is a certificate error, we can ignore it. So I got IO exception for another URL, and it is saying message connection refused. So we are getting a lot of errors and a different variety of errors. Good job, Indian government. So IO, this is a certificate error, we can ignore. Connection timeout. 404 for this URL. Again 404 for this URL. So there is a significant number of errors. Connection refused. Certificate error. Certificate error, we can ignore it. It is fine. 302, move temporarily. 302, move temporarily. Oh, many errors. 302 on this URL. 301, move permanently. 308, permanent redirect. 301, 301. Connection timeout on this. Again, IU exception. Received fatal error. Protocol version on this URL. So the total failed count which we had displayed at the end. So for 12 URLs are failing and not giving 200 response code. So these were the errors which we received. Some of them were the certificate errors which we can ignore, but there were a variety of errors like 404, 301, 302 move temporarily, move permanently. So these kind of errors we received when we opened this URL and all the verified all the anchor tags on this URL. So to summarize, we used URL class, and we instantiated this object by the URL itself by passing the string which contained the URL. Then excuse me, then using the URL, this URL reference, we open the connection, and we typecasted it to HTTP URL connection and assigned it to the HTTP URL reference. Then we set the timeout. If some URL is not opening for 7 seconds, then connection timeout will happen. We saw for some URL there was a connection timeout. Then we eventually we connected to the URL, and then we check the response code. If it is non 200, we will display it, and our code found 12 such URLs in which the response code was unsuccessful, and we displayed we used the try cat block, and inside the cat block we displayed whatever best information we can, like we displayed the response message as well as the URL using the link which we had passed from our main method. Here we had captured the href attribute in the link, and we passed this link in this function argument, and here also we gave the same name and we used this link in our cache blocks. So this way we can verify that all the anchor tags on a web page, and check whether they are giving the correct response or they are breaking. So after we run this program, our job will be as a QA, as a automation tester, our job will be to provide this details of the URL which are breaking to the developer so that they can fix these URLs and provide the fixes. After fixing, ask us to rerun our script, and there should not be this count should be 0, and there should not be any URL in which the response code is other than 200. So guys, this was quite a long video, and thanks if you learned something new from this video. Don't forget to like my video and share it among your friends. And if you want more similar informative and awesome videos, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to press the bell button. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.